In this video, I'll be concentrating on two key points. Now, these key points are in regards to the police and the actions that they took that night. I've decided to pinpoint these two key points because of the fact that they are very important, and I don't think that they were done to the best ability that it could have been done. Okay, so the first point I would like to concentrate on is the fact that the area had not been sealed off, patrolled or guarded correctly. Now, this could be down to the fact that there wasn't enough policemen on the scene, or just down to pure disorganisation on the police's behalf. And consequently, that basically meant that a lot of witnesses were able to leave, and if there were 2 or 3 shooters, then they were able to leave as well. The second point is the fact that the theatre itself hadn't been searched accurately, and this is even more disturbing because of the fact that the police first searched the area, and then the SWAT team actually came in and searched it. Said it was all clear, and then all of a sudden you hear that there are staff in the break room. So that just basically points out that the premises hadn't been searched 100% and wasn't accurate at all. So those are the two key points that we're going to be discussing. So I'm going to start off with the first one with the fact that the area had not been sealed off, and you're just going to hear a few of the audio bits to confirm this. Before we start, I would like to point out that several attempts were made to try and block the whole of the perimeter. However, this wasn't done for reasons unknown to us.
315 and 314, there is at least one person that's been shot, but they're saying there's hundreds of people just running around.
So that audio just sets the scene for you. So somebody's been shot and there's hundreds of people running around, which basically means that there's chaos.
Team 6, we got another person outside shot in the leg, a female. I got people running out of the theater that were shot in room 9.
Copy, we'll let rescue know. They'll start more people.
Alright, so the audio that you just heard was at 0425. The female is basically saying we've got somebody shot in the leg. They've got people running out of the theatre that was shot in room 9. So again, this just shows you how many people were fleeing from the scene at that point.
21. One of the construction workers said somebody just came booking out of the parking lot. Male, red backpack, that's all they saw, was headed towards Alameda.
Alright, so the audio you just heard there was at 24:19, and it just basically states that a construction worker said he saw someone come in, booking out of the parking lot. Male, red backpack was all they saw, heading out towards Alameda. Now, I've touched on this before, the fact that the construction worker pinpointed this one guy out of a swarm of potentially, so many people. But this is just another point to prove the fact that the perimeters, weren't surrounded, and people like him that potentially could be a suspect and that have left the scene.
And Lincoln 25, we have witnesses that left that are saying that they did see the shooter. They do have blood splatter on them. They're not injured. What do you want us to do with those people?
Now, the audio that you heard was taken at 40:22, so that's 40 minutes approximately after the first dispatch. Now, this is the most damning of the evidence that we've heard. Basically, she says we have witnesses that left that are saying they did see the shooters, that they do have blood on them, but they are not injured. So the fact that you actually have people that were in the theatre at that time, and they've actually left the theatre, gone home, 40 minutes later they've called up to say they were witnesses, that to me is ridiculous. I mean, it could just be down to police error, they just didn't do well that night, could just be a mistake. But I do think that the police team itself, the police force, like the way they deal with these and that type of situations has to be looked at, has to be revised, and definitely has to be improved. The main point with this is just to basically show that the fact is that if there were other shooters involved, they could have easily got away like amidst all the chaos, and the fact that the police didn't do their job correctly, they hadn't sealed off the area, and like it just shows you the incompetence that they have there in that team, which needs to be looked at and revised. I think maybe the orders that they were giving weren't correct, and maybe they need to get more police force. To be honest, I'm not sure what they need to do in regards to that, but they do need to make changes, and I think the team need to be talked to. The fact that you have injured parties that were in cars at that point, that they were across the street, north side of the theatre, that just shows that if an injured person, that's been shot in the leg or the arm can get that far, a person that isn't injured could have potentially fled the scene so easily. The next point I'll be discussing is the fact that the theatre and the building weren't searched correctly. Now, we first have the police team, they go in and do a search, then we have the SWAT team, and they go in and they do a search. All comes back clear and fine, until you hear a radio dispatch stating that there are staff in the break room. Now, how can two teams, especially the SWAT team, which is meant to be the best in America, one of the best, how could they miss a group of people, potentially witnesses, potential shooters? It could have been anyone that they missed in there. So my point is, if they missed that, what else could they have missed? So it does raise some really big questions to the ability of the teams that were there and present, and I do think that they do need to revise what they're doing wrong and try to correct it, because this is unacceptable. So now we're just going to hear some radio to prove what I've just said.
Are you in Theater 9? Yes. And is that where the majority of it is? We're clearing all the rest of the theaters now.
So the first audio you've just heard was at 13:55. We're clearing all of the theatres now. So that's obviously the start of when they've done a search of the theatres and they want to get everybody out as soon as possible.
Has anybody been upstairs in this theater yet?
They're working on it now.
So we have bodies upstairs, or we're planning on doing that?
We're clearing it now.
Okay.
This audio was taken at 18:21, so approximately 5 minutes after the first one you've just heard. It's a police guy asking, has anybody been upstairs yet? And the guy basically responds to say that they're clearing it now. So by this, of course, you would assume that they are, checking the whole of the building.
Lincoln 25, everybody inside, realize that behind the screens, those are open venues, so you need to check behind those screens also.
So this one was a short one. It was at 18:58, and it's just one of the officers giving some good information to say check behind the screens and stuff, because it's a open venue, which of course from here you would think that they are doing a very thorough search.
Aurora personnel searching inside of the movie theater as we speak. Yeah, 2:30. Let's get officers at the parking lot exits. They want everybody in the parking lot held in here for right now, and they are currently searching in the inside. They're going to give us an update in just a second.
So this audio was taken at 23:55, approximately 5 minutes from the last one you've just heard, and it is confirming that the personnel are searching the entire movie theatre.
16, I just been told we still have employees in the break area inside the theater. Denver 316, clear, employees still in the break area in the theater. Break dispatch to Aurora Weekly.
This is Aurora, go ahead.
For our cars on scene, we're getting a report of positive out, or if employees still inside the break room inside of the theater.
Copy, we're advised. Thank you.
7316 will be between theaters 14 and 15, I believe. If you face the theaters on the right-hand side.
Copy, Denver.
So the audio you've just heard was at 31:35. It's approximately 18 minutes after they first started to clear out all the theatres. It's approximately 8 minutes after they again confirmed that personnel were searching the entire movie theatre. From the dispatches we heard, it did sound like they were doing a thorough check. Obviously not, because now you have staff and they're smoking, like in their quarters, which is, a thing to be looked at, because they're still in there after all the shootings going on. Possibly that they could have been in there because they were a bit scared to come out, and so they just stayed in there. But I'm sure the police and the SWAT team would have seen them, or should have checked those quarters of the building. So this just basically points out that the police didn't do a great job in searching the theatre, and again it just raises the question that if they did miss these people there, what else have they missed potentially, and who could they have missed as well?